There are 2.5 million people of Indian origin living in the United States. Among them, only about 2% are Dalits, once known as untouchables. The stigma attached to caste is so deep that most Indians, especially Dalits here in America, refuse to talk about it. For Americans, it's difficult to understand that caste-based discrimination and violence that is seen in other parts of the world actually exist over here.
Every time I speak to someone, they have these deep and personal and traumatic stories and actually have no way of telling them because they're so scared.
Preeti Meshram is a Dalit woman living here in the Northeast. Her name and voice have been changed so she can't be identified for fear of reprisal from upper caste communities. Meshram came to the United States against her family's wishes to do her PhD. She thought life would be better here, but not long after she joined college in New England, she says she was raped by an upper caste Brahmin student. There was no doubt in her mind that caste was the motivating reason for the assault.
From the very first day, how he behaved towards me was a kind of behavior that you observe landlords behaving towards the women who work on their fields, the Dalit women especially who work on their fields, which is an attitude of ownership and entitlement over their bodies and their time and their labor.
When Meshram told her upper caste roommate what had happened, she was scoffed at in disbelief. Traumatized and with no support, Meshram did not report the assault, and we can't independently verify her story. But it isn't an isolated one. According to a 2018 survey released in Cambridge by the Dalit-led Equality Labs, caste-based discrimination is very much alive and kicking here in America. Among their respondents, 26% said they had experienced a physical assault because of their caste. 59% had caste-based derogatory jokes or remarks directed at them, and over half of them said they were afraid of being found out as a Dalit. There are stories of discrimination and isolation at schools, workplaces, temples, and within communities. Tenmori Soundarajan is executive director at Equality Labs and a Dalit activist.
For us, it was pretty startling because while we'd always had anecdotal information from all of our caste-oppressed immigrant community members that something was not right with the way our communities were being treated, when we finally got the numbers from our survey, we were just utterly shocked.
The online survey was anonymous, and there are some who have criticized how it was carried out and its results. Among other criticisms, Suhag Shukla from the Hindu American Foundation says she believes the survey didn't take generational differences into account.
Were these people who had been in the country for only 5 years, meaning they had just recently come from India and may have carried over, some certain social stigmas or baggage and were continuing to live their lives through that lens? Or was it someone like me who was born and raised here, for whom caste is not relevant?
With the number of Dalit and lower caste people growing in the United States and a movement to assert their rights, there could be more protests like this one that took place at last year's World Hindu Congress in Chicago. The small group of women was protesting the presence of extremist Hindu leaders and what they saw as the Brahmin superiority of the event. The activists were attacked, beaten, and spat on by attendees at the session they had disrupted. S.P. Kothari, chairman of the Congress and a professor at MIT's Sloan School of Management, denies Hindus are socially or politically divisive here in the United States.
Is there an institutional or is there an organizational or religious way to try and drive a wedge between the Dalits and the upper caste? And the answer is categorically no. There are laws against discrimination, and those are important.
When I'm at Harvard, I actually want to be recognized as untouchable.
Kanishka Elupula is an Indian Dalit studying for his doctorate at Harvard.
My achievement is that I happen to be somebody who was beaten up and abused and made to feel like crap because I come from this caste. So the fact that I'm an untouchable and I'm here is what I want people to recognize.
Despite how proud he is of his success, Elupula still doesn't openly talk on campus about his caste.
Because I've seen so many times, when you talk about it and that's it, the conversation usually ends there, or then people start avoiding you, or they see you as not reasonable, like when you support the causes that you support.
This internal conflict is not uncommon among many Dalits living in America. They are proud that despite generational discrimination back in India, they have escaped to the US. It's difficult for Americans or outsiders to see the complex and often subtle ways in which caste plays out within the Indian communities on a day-to-day basis. Most upper caste Hindus deny that caste plays any role for them over here, except maybe in one very big part of their lives: marriage. Matrimonial websites and ads all blatantly specify caste as being one of the most important factors for a union, perpetuating the caste-based system. Tinku Ray, WGBH, Boston's local NPR.